The title of the presentation is The Current Efforts to Raise the Quality of Engineering Education in the Philippines. So I will be presenting you, next slide, please. I will be presenting you at least an overview of the Philippine higher education, so you would understand where we were before and where we are now, and how we did with the Philippine context of accreditation, and how we did the transition from input-based to outcomes-based and a way forward. Next slide. So just to give you an idea, this is the number of higher education institutions in the Philippines. So as of 2017, we have more than 2,000 higher education institutions, wherein, next slide, wherein we have a total number of 555 engineering schools and universities within the country, and the rest of 1,155 is the non-engineering. So it is like only 32% comprises of the engineering educational institution. Next slide. Over the years, if you would see, I'm sharing you now the current population of the enrollment of our engineering, as well as the graduates. And over the last 10 years, this is a 10-year population, you would see that there was a complete decline sometime in 2016 and 2017. This is now where we actually transitioned from the K-10 to K-12. So for 2 years, we didn't have any freshmen. So we had really a low enrollment in those years. But eventually, it is now gaining up popularity. So we're now, again, increasing. Next slide. So back then, the challenges was, of course, the attrition was too high. If you have seen the previous slide, the attrition is really close to 80%. So we wanted to really develop programs for the dropouts, as well as we wanted to strengthen the technologies and technician programs, because these are what we feel that if there would be dropouts in the tertiary, we would feel that they're probably more comfortable with the technologies or the technician programs. Of course, challenge also that we had back then was really the transition from K-10 to K-12. But engineering back then was 5 years, so that is giving us a total still of close to 16 years, including the kindergarten. And the challenge also, it was to promote more engineering programs for the students to take, and particularly in the senior high school, those who will be going to the STEM track. We wanted them really to be attracted to engineering, not only in the other sciences or even in the other STEM programs. And that time is we really needed the government to intervene with the engineering and technology program. So what did the government did was really to promote quality. Next slide. Can you just jump to the next 2 slides? Okay. And of course, accreditation is one of the best things that the government would provide and we'd encourage. But again, accreditation is really more of self-regulation, more of a self-evaluation, and it's a judgment of the peers. However, we see that it leads us to a quality education. So next slide. As we all know, the basic characteristics of accreditation is really more of voluntarism, it's self-regulation, and of course, its reliance to evaluation techniques, as well as the primary concern is really on quality. Next slide. Of the accreditation. So as early as in 1977, we have already a federation of accrediting agencies in the Philippines.